Universal Studios Islands of Adventure. Opening in the summer of 1999, Universal Studios' second theme park in Florida, Islands of Adventure. Just like any other good theme park, this place has some pretty weird things. And while this may not be all of them, I've decided to do today's In Between Here and There on the top 5 weirdest things in Islands of Adventure. Our first thing can be found here in Marvel's Superhero Island. If you continue up the main path, you'll see an arcade to your left. Inside that arcade is something a little bit weird. Travel all the way to the back of the arcade and there'll be a set of stairs. At the top of the stairs is a cage with a chair in it. Now before any comic book fans go raging on me, I'm well aware that this is supposed to be Dr. Doom's chair. After all, the arcade does serve as an exit to Dr. Doom's Fearfall. But it's weird. And what makes it weird is the fact that it's a chair in a cage that's locked. Is the arcade supposed to be some kind of prison and this is where Dr. Doom sat and they still served him like royalty? Or was it locked because it was his way of protecting himself from the Fantastic Four? It doesn't make sense. What's even weirder is that Dr. Doom doesn't do meet and greets up here. This would be the prime opportunity to do one, and he's not here. It's just a little bit weird. In order to understand our next weird thing, I'm gonna need a map because it actually involves one big giant place in Islands of Adventure and a map. And that giant place being Skull Island. So the weird thing about Skull Island, Reign of Khan, is that the ride itself, the name of the ride is Skull Island Reign of Khan. One would think that it could easily be called Reign of Khan, and its location is Skull Island, one of the newest islands here in Islands of Adventure. However, the land and the ride share a name. If you look on the map, it clearly says Skull Island Reign of Khan. Just like every other area has a box around the name of the island that it's associated with. And if you go over to the side over here, where it tells you about all the food and attraction options, there it is, just by itself. Skull Island, Reign of Khan. What makes this even weirder is the fact that Skull Island, Reign of Khan, the land, has a shop and a small little store for food, but they're not located on the map at all. It's literally just the ride, or the land. It's both. And to me, that's a little weird. You are a very strange creature, Khan. Reign of Khan. Skull Island. Our next weird thing isn't too far away from right next door in Toon Lagoon. Now, this one might be kind of a stretch to some, because I get it. We're in a comic book. We're with cartoons. Things can be weird on purpose. Or essentially, the human physics of the world don't matter. But this is still a little bit weird. If you head all the way back into the back area of Toon Lagoon, into an area based off the Popeye cartoon series into Sweet Haven, head all the way to the back, past Popeye's ship called the MacLeod, you'll find a path that leads to the water side of Islands of Adventure. It's not the path back here that makes this area of Toon Lagoon weird. In fact, every single island has a lagoon outlet to where you can look at the park from the water. What makes it weird is the stuff that's on the trail. While most of it is essentially pun-related and meant to be there, there's some other smaller details that just make some things here a little weird. This one even took me a little bit to find, but as soon as I noticed it, and ever since I've come back, I've always noticed it, and I find it to be a little Annette just barreling through the day. You guessed it, weird. At the very back of Toon Lagoon's lagoon watching area, you'll come across a boardwalk. Do you notice anything weird about this boardwalk? Anything that's gated off? Now, I don't know about you, but this looks like a pretty steep drop-off. And being that it only leads into the main lagoon and not part of any type of ride here in Toon Lagoon, it makes you wonder, why is there a gate here? Why is this a gate when the rest is all normal fencing? What happened? Where does it go? Why would you need it? It's just a little bit weird, at least in my opinion. I didn't want to make Seuss Landing part of this list because I feel like it's already a very weird place without needing to try. But there's a thing here. A thing here that's not thing one and it's not thing two. It's just a thing. And it's really, really weird. Across from Cats, Hats, and Things is the Carousel. And if you take the winding path up towards the Carousel, you begin to discover this thing. What is it? Where did it come from? And how is it sleeping with all of the zany music playing? I don't know, like, I really, really try to not put Seuss Landing in these videos because it just seems too easy, but I mean, look at it. It's just weird. As I'm walking around finding these weird things for you, I've realized that there's way more than 5. Kind of figured that would be the case. However, to do one in each island is the goal here, and I don't even know if we're gonna get there because we only have one more weird thing to see. And I don't know if you want to consider it the weirdest or not, but still, lots more weirdness where this last weird thing came from. Located in Jurassic Park is a child's play area called Camp Jurassic. There's one piece of rockwork that's kind of weird. As you head down one of the very first staircases in Camp Jurassic, you come into a nice little alcove area. It's pretty quiet, pretty hidden, and while there's a lot of interesting rock formations and rockwork in there that just seem normal, there's one particular that seems a little weird. Normal cave, normal rockwork. A dead end, but still pretty normal. What's this? This is my favorite part of Camp Jurassic, but it's also the weirdest. It looks like it's supposed to be a tunnel, but clearly it only goes so far, and it's a little weird. It's a hole in rockwork, which makes sense, but this is as far as you can go in it. It's supposed to go somewhere, but it doesn't. It's a little weird. And now I'm stuck. Help! Well, friends, that does it for our 5 weird things in Islands of Adventure. Trust me, there's a lot more, did it? Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Be sure to check out Patreon at patreon.com/OMGIt'sTopher. You can help contribute and make videos bigger, better, and more awesome. Keep me on the road, keep my gas tank full, and vicariously be with me in every single In Between Here and There vlog that's made after this one. You can also check out Spreadshirt for some sweet, sweet gear. So go to InbetweenHereAndThereThere.Spreadshirt.com. I believe there might be a sale going on right now. There's always something happening over at Spreadshirt. So with that being said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. You're right, Dinosaur. I did forget the most important, weirdest thing in the world. Well, at least in islands. Oh man, I can't believe I did this. I didn't want to use the Wizarding World because what's weird to a wizard is completely different and weird to a non-magic folk, also called a muggle. I'm not that naive. But still, how could I forget the most weirdest thing in all of Islands of Adventure?
Yeah, we did that last time. Last time I came, I did.
All right, now that we're in Hogsmeade, I can show you the weirdest thing in the Wizarding World. And it's not this snowman dressed as a witch or wizard. No, that's pretty normal. It's not the fact that it's snowing in Florida. No, the weirdest thing in all of the Wizarding World isn't something that Universal Creative or Warner Brothers built. It's not something that anyone intended to be in the Wizarding World. It wasn't here before the Wizarding World, but it was here when Diagon Alley was built, and yet somehow it's here in Hogsmeade, here in Islands of Adventure. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the most weirdest thing in all of Islands of Adventure. The weirdest thing in all of Islands of Adventure! There it is! The weirdest thing in all of Islands of Adventure! It's cute though.